Pokemon Phax. Azurills, Marills, and azumarills are water-type rodents often seen wading in rivers. They're adorable creatures who often get compared to the likes of Pikachus when discussing a list of the cutest Pokemon. And these conversations predictably turn toxic, especially when Pikachu stands get involved. They'd hurl insults and refer to Marills as pellet swap Pikachus or Pikachus from Wish. Of course, Marills objected to these terms, but Pikachu stands wouldn't hear of it. They drown out their complaints with more insults, claiming that the Marills are just Pikachus with lupus, or that they're the first draft Pikachus that Arceus forgot to scrap. At some point, the Marills and their families tuned them out and kept to themselves, but the more they ignored the Pikachu stands, the more merciless they became. One night, the Marills were awakened to muffled Gregorian chants emanating close by. When they peered outside their windows, they saw a bunch of people burning effigies of their likeness in their yards while chanting, "Marills are like when you ask your mom to get you a Pikachu, and she tells you that you have Pikachus at home." The melody was rather enchanting, but the overall message deeply upset them. The Marills called the cops, but the perpetrators quickly dispersed, leaving scorch marks all over their yards. They had enough. The Marills organized and marched all over Johto to voice their displeasure. Most people sympathized with their plight, but their demonstrations were predictably disrupted by a bunch of Pikachu stands who called them Pikachus if they drowned. Marills argued that they had no ties whatsoever with Pikachus, that they had a rich history of their own, and to call them Funhouse Mirror Pikachus is an affront to their beautiful heritage. Standing ovations resounded across the block, but the Pikachu stands were unfazed. Instead of apologizing, they asked for proof. "Proof of what?" the Marills asked. "Well, proof that you have no ties to Pikachus whatsoever as you claim," they replied. So the Marills walked to the nearest PC and went on Ancestry.com. Within the next 3 business days, they received a DNA test kit and a prepaid return mailer. The Marills collected their saliva, sent it back, and paid more money to expedite the process. Then the day finally came. With bated breath, the eldest azumarill tore open the envelope that contained the test result, while everyone stood still. Even the Pikachu stands held their tongue while the elder unfolded the document and perused it. This went on for several seconds, before he looked up and smiled at the crowd.
"Well, there you have it. There are no direct links between us and the Pikachus."
The crowd cheered and pointed towards their detractors, asking for their long-awaited apology. But the Pikachu stands continued to remain unfazed. "Let us see the result," they said. The elder was appalled.
"Why would you need to see it? I already told you the result."
"Yeah, but we'd like to verify it ourselves before we apologize."
"But I already read it to you, so there's no need."
The Marills looked at the elder, wondering why he wasn't so forthcoming. They suddenly had a bad feeling about the whole affair. Eventually, the elder relented and threw the documents at the Pikachu stands. One of them picked it up and read it out loud for all to hear. It stated that the Marills were actually descendants of Pikachus, specifically Pikachus who had lupus, and thus were cast out of their tribes. I'm a decommissioned train full of stray dogs, and this has been another episode of Pokemon Phax. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more factual Pokemon facts. Have a wonderful Pokemon day.